All right, you have a couple of options.
Okay.
Number one would be to rebuild these windows. That means scrape out the glazing and replace it.
Okay.
New weather stripping on the top and the bottom and the sides and the meeting rail. A new storm window.
That sounds like a lot.
It's a lot of work, and it can be expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So, rather than do all that,
Okay.
I would recommend installing a replacement window into your existing opening.
Okay, that sounds good.
Now we're ready to measure for the width of the window.
Okay.
And that means I want to measure from jamb to jamb. But these jambs have jamb liners in them.
Okay.
And I'm not going to get a true measurement if I measure against those. So to compensate for those, I'm going to measure to the back side of the stop bead right here or up against that trim.
Okay.
All right, so now I'm going to take that measurement on this side, and I have 36 and a 16th.
Okay.
Now I want to measure the middle to make sure there's no bow in the unit. Okay, 36 and a 16th at the top. 36 and a 16th. All the numbers are consistent. Now, if I had got a number that was smaller than 36 and a 16th, I would use that number to order the window so that the new unit would fit into the opening.
Okay.
All right? All right, now we're going to measure the height.
Okay.
This is the sill. This is the stool. I want to measure at the highest point of the sill against the back of the stool.
Okay.
I want to make sure that my tape measure is plumb. It has to be straight up and down so I get a true measurement. 49 3/4 on the left side, and I have 49 3/4 on the right side.
Okay.
Now I want to check the window to see if it's out of square.
Okay. And how do you do that?
All right, we're going to measure the diagonals. I want you to take your finger and just hold the tape tight up against the stop bead.
Okay.
Now I can pivot the tape. I want to pull it to make sure that it's straight. 60 3/8. Let's check this dimension over here. I want to hold the tape there. I want to be able to swing the tape, keep it straight. 60 3/8. It's good. Now that we know that our diagonal measurements are equal, we know that the window is not out of square.
Okay.
Now we're ready to order a new window. Just as you requested, painted white on the inside.
Looks great.
All right, now we get started by removing the old sash.
Okay.
Now the first thing I want to do is with a utility knife, we want to score the paint right where the stop bead meets the trim.
Okay.
Just cut the paint all the way around the perimeter.
Okay.
Okay, now that our paint is cut, I'm going to use a stiff putty knife, put it between the stop and the trim. I want to remove the stop and save it because we need it when we put the new window back in. All right, the next thing I want to do is I want to remove this parting bead right up the top. Just grab it, pull it right out. Okay, that's one window. Grab this one. Okay, now I want to just put my putty knife behind the jam liner. A couple of staples up there. Pull them out. Okay, get the other side. Pull those out. Now I'm simply going to grab the sash, pull it out, grab the jam lines, push against them because there's a spring in there. Pick them up. That's one down. And now we got to remove the storm windows. The storm window is screwed to the frame. Now I have to unscrew them. That's good, Emily. We want to get all that old paint off that edge, so when we put the window in, we get a nice snug fit.
Okay.
Now, I've cleaned mine, so I'm going to run a bead of caulking right around the perimeter. Now I want to run 2 beads across the sill, so when I set the window in it, it'll make a nice tight seal. All right, Emily, grab a side.
All right.
Grab it down here like this. Ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Now what I want to do is I want to tilt it into the opening. So we're going to put the bottom in first.
Okay.
Drop it right in a little bit. Okay, now what I want to do is put it up just a little bit to balance it.
Okay.
And I want to look at my spacing on each side. I want to
Okay.
check it here, and I want to check it over there.
Okay.
And it looks to me like I have to bring the window back this way just a little bit.
Okay.
Now it's centered. Okay, so now we'll push it right in. Nice tight fit against the caulking. Okay, now the manufacturer supplies these plastic shims that help hold the window tight into the opening. I first install the screw through the new window into the jamb. I slide the shims over the screw. I just tighten the screw. To make sure the window is square, I need to measure the diagonals.
Okay.
Remember, the diagonal measurements have to match to make sure that the window is square. So I have 57 and 5/8 that way.
Okay.
Now I want to check it this way. Hold that right there in the corner. Keeping my tape straight. I want to see what this number is. I've got 57 and 3/4. So we have to move the window over 1/8 of an inch
Okay.
to make the window square. So put your chisel in there,
Yep.
down near the bottom,
Okay.
and slide the window towards me. There you go. Perfect.
Great.
The last measurement I want to take is from side to side to make sure that the center of the unit isn't bowed.
Okay.
All right, let me just bring this side in a little bit. Good, I get a shim in there. Okay, now we can seal around the perimeter with some caulking and reinstall the stop bead. Okay, Emily, I find that those wet paper towels really work well smoothing out that damp caulking.
Definitely. It looks like it's working great.
Okay, and I just installed on the exterior of the window a good bead of caulking around the perimeter. So these are really weather tight.
Excellent. Tom, thank you so much. I can't believe it. I can't wait to see what happens this winter.
I think you're going to notice a big difference.